Hey guys, this is Nimway Productions, and in today's video, we are going to dive into a very deep topic. But before we do, I want to ask you all a question. Do you believe in reincarnation? The reason I ask is because the topic of today's video involves a very bizarre and obscure case involving the death of a young boy named Jasbir Lal Jat and his apparent revival only a few hours later with an entirely new set of memories and personality traits, which was alleged to be connected to a young man who died in the adjacent village nearby around the same time period. Due to the extreme scarcity of available images and photos of Jasbir Lal Jat and his family members, I am left with no choice but to use and insert imitation photos of people who closely resemble him and his related family members in order to keep things simple and easier to follow along. However, when I do have one or two of the available images of Jasbir Lal Jat depicted in the video, I will make sure to label it. That way you, the viewer, know exactly who we are talking about and discussing in today's video. Before continuing, I would like to state that this story that we are about to go into was actually found in a short excerpt from a book titled Mysteries: An Investigation into the Occult, written by famous philosopher and psychical researcher Colin Wilson. If this story interests you and you would like to know more about such topics, then what I will do is, if I can get 10 likes on this video and maybe one or two suggested comments basically asking me to elaborate more into this book and some of the things being discussed in this book, then what I will do is I will make a full video on the entirety of Mysteries and Investigation into the Occult. Okay, so with that being said, let me now go into this very, very bizarre case of this young boy who died, came back to life, and his entire story. Jasbir Lal Jat was born in 1950 in the village of Raspular in northern India. At 3.5 years of age, he contracted smallpox and died. As it was nighttime, his burial was postponed until morning. While waiting at his deathbed, his father noticed Jasbir's body stirring, and eventually the child would regain consciousness. It was some weeks before he could speak clearly, but what he would begin to say would shock and baffle everybody for literally years to come. When Jasbir was again able to express himself, it was clear that his personality had entirely changed. For starters, he stated that he was not the son of Jasbir's father, but rather he was the son of another man in a nearby adjacent village by the name of Shankir of Vahedi, and that he wanted to return there. Describing his previous life, Jasbir said he had died after being given poisoned sweets at a wedding ceremony by a man who owed him money. The poison, he said, disoriented him while he was riding in a chariot during the post-wedding procession, causing him to fall off and die of a head injury. As reported by his parents and other witnesses, following his transformation, Jasbir strongly identified with his past incarnation, saying, "I am the son of Shankir, Sabha Ram." He also used a vocabulary more typical of Brahmin speech rather than the type of vocabulary that you would find used in the family that was associated with Jasbir, which was from the Jat class, which would be more Jat type speech. Following the investigation, reincarnation research pioneer Ian Stevenson was brought to the scene to basically verify the claims made by Jasbir. So what he did was he brought both families, Sabha Ram's family and Jasbir's families, he brought both families together and began questioning Jasbir in their presence to verify the statements being made by him on Sabha Ram's family's behalf. I will detail the statements and recognitions as follows. Some of the statements that were made which were verified are the following. He was the son of Shankir of Vahedi. His name was Sabha Ram. He remembered his wife's name and the village in which he originated from. He remembered distinct details about the things outside and inside of his mother's house, all of his family members' names, and distinct childhood memories of Sabha Ram that Jasbir would not have known. Dr. Ian Stevenson would revisit Jasbir 3 years later to verify the statements and testimonies made to see if there were any inconsistencies in his confessions. However, his story remained consistent even after all of that time, which only helped solidify the validity of these bizarre. The typical term we would use to describe the case just discussed will be placed under the label or umbrella of what would be considered a walk-in incarnation. Walk-in incarnations, or a walk-in, is a new concept of a person whose original soul has departed from his or her body and has been replaced with a new, generally speaking, more advanced soul, which has a certain mission and set of objectives that it was not able to fulfill during its original life. As bizarre and unbelievable as the case we have just gone over may sound, it should be noted that there are many people, past and present, who claim to have the ability to access past life memories and have even gone through past life regressions with hypnotists and psychic mediums who basically put them into a subconscious, highly suggestive state which allows them to have access to the deepest recesses of their mind and its memories. And with this concludes the story of Jasbir Lal Jat. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.